Hey everybody, welcome back. If I haven't met you yet, my name is Bill Drexler. I'm a certified financial planner with Financial Cornerstone Group. So, at some point in our lives, we're going to find ourselves in debt to somebody or an institution, whether that's in the form of a mortgage, car loan, student loan, credit cards, whatever that may be. And really the lack of education and financial awareness on truly what debt is, how interest rates work, and what it truly means in the context of one's own financial picture has contributed to approximately, I think it's a little bit over $17 trillion in U.S. household debt in 2023. So that's a staggering number, and it really could best be addressed as a country if we focused a little bit more on financial education in our schools. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the average interest rates and the various forms of debt. I'm going to go into the main types, and at the very end, we're going to talk about two payback methods that I have used over the last couple of years, and many have that have shown success to help people pay off debt. So hopefully this helps, and let's go ahead and get started. So let's look at the average interest rates on popular consumer debts. So for a 30-year fixed mortgage, according to Freddie Mac sources, that rose to 6.57 as of May 25th of 2023. As far as credit cards, while rates have fluctuated over the past 20 some odd years, we'll put up a graphic to illustrate that. Rates have stayed between 12% and 16% with the average APR of around 13.26. So federal student loan interest rates have gone up in the 2023-2024 academic year to 5.5% for undergraduate direct loans and over 7% for graduate loans, and that's according to NerdWallet. And car loans are a little bit over 6%. It's at 6.07% for a car loan according to Bankrate. So really quickly, as an aside, let's compare that to the average return of the S&P 500 index, or a very good indicator of the stock market. Since 1957, the S&P has returned 11.88%, and that's all the way through 2021. A couple good quotes from some folks that you might have heard of. Warren Buffett says, "If you buy things that you do not need, sooner or later you will have to sell things that you do need." Dave Ramsey says, "We buy things we do not need to impress people we don't like with money that we don't have." So while folks, when we sit down, they're of course concerned about returns of their investments. And that's a very important component into your financial life. However, I would propose that paying off an 18% credit card or 15% credit card is more important, as I'm unaware of a consistent investment vehicle that can return 18% consistently, predictably, year over year. So let's actually jump into repayment. And it's psychological, it's also analytical, and it really depends on the person. In a lot of my videos, I'll make a comment that what works for you is not going to work for someone else, and you have to find the tools and the strategies that work specifically for you. So some key questions are, how do we pay this off the fastest way possible? But also, what is the most optimal way to do this? And more importantly, is this a plan that we can stick to? And then how do we stay motivated when things get tough? Because that's going to happen. So let's look at two debt repayment strategies. We'll go over what they are, pros and cons, who it possibly could work for, and then we'll close it out. All right, so if there's any Dave Ramsey fans out there, you're automatically going to recognize this. And this is called the debt snowball. And although it might not be the mathematically optimized way to do this, from what I've seen, it's perhaps the most motivating and easier to stick to, and I'll kind of go into why. So with the debt snowball, what you do is you pay the minimum on all your balances if you have multiple balances, and you focus on paying off the smallest balance first out of all the loans as quickly as possible. And once that debt is paid off, you then take the money that you were putting towards that payment and roll it over into the next smallest debt owned. And you continue this process until all accounts are paid off. And as you roll the money used from the smallest balance to the next, the amount snowballs, that's where it gets its name, and gets larger and larger, and the rate of debt is reduced, is accelerated. It's moving faster. And what I've found is that this form of debt repayment is fantastic, as it actually releases dopamine in your brain, when one of the balances paid off. I'm a big proponent of checklists, and the reason behind that for me is it releases the dopamine in your brain, and it's motivating to keep going. And that's what I've noticed that helps folks to stick to that plan. The second one is actually somewhat of the opposite. It's called the debt avalanche, where it's the most mathematically optimal way, but it takes real dedication to stick to. So with the debt avalanche method, you pay the minimum on all your balances, but you focus on the loan with the highest interest rate first. So the most costly, the most expensive debt that you have. And similar to the snowball method, when the highest interest rate is paid off, you take that money that you were paying towards that debt and move it on to the next higher interest rate instead of balance. That's the difference. So you continue this process all the way down the line from the highest interest to the smallest, and pay that one last. And by focusing on the loans that are the most expensive, you're actually paying less over time as far as interest goes, because you're addressing those first. And it eliminates the compounding effect that the higher interest rates have. So the journey to pay off your debt, be debt-free, live the life that you want to live, how you want to live it, it all starts with analyzing your current beliefs about money, your current habits, not just your spending habits, and the way that you think about finances in general. And sometimes it's a hard introspective into yourself. If you don't have a budget, if you think that that's limiting, for lack of a better word, I do have another video that talks about that and how it's actually the opposite of limiting. It's really freeing. It's giving yourself permission. So analyzing your budget, analyzing your cash flow and your expenses, and then sticking to the program that you set forth, whether you're looking at doing the snowball or the avalanche, what works best for you. Like many things in finance, I'll say this all the time, a person's preferences and psychology play a huge role in determining what that winning strategy is going to be. And so always, if you can, talk to a professional, talk to a certified financial planner. That way they can also be an accountability partner for you. That's a big part of the Dave Ramsey program too, is having someone be an accountability partner to hold you to it when things get hard, because they're going to. So I hope this helped. Quick video on the debt snowball and debt avalanche, the differences. We could talk about this, all day, but we'll leave it there for now. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comments. If this helped, like, subscribe, reach out, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Have a great day.